because I owe it to myself, because that's like unfinished business with myself. Let's talk about it. Like, that's like unfinished business with myself. That's like a broken promise that I made to myself due to not believing in myself, due to getting caught up with survival, due to falling for the Masons tricks. So I gotta go, and I gotta make things right. Follow your dreams because you owe it to your inner child. You had hopes, you had aspirations, you had visions, you had dreams. If not very young, then at least when you were a teenager, at some point in your life before you became a full adult, you had a dream, you had an aspiration, you had a wish, you had a goal. And the goal wasn't tied to anything that had to do with this reality, this world. It didn't have anything to do with gaining status. It didn't have anything to do with getting rich. It didn't have anything to do with being popular, gaining fame, gaining acceptance. It didn't have nothing to do with your trauma. It didn't have nothing to do with this world. It was just something that you were passionate about, that you cared about, that you enjoyed doing, that you just clicked with and wanted to spend the rest of your life doing it. Everyone has that thing. Everyone has that thing. Even if you didn't necessarily dream of doing it for the rest of your life, you still have that thing that you've loved doing since a kid, but you never actually dreamed of doing it for the rest of your life because maybe from a young age, from your parents, or maybe you're just an old soul, or from observation, maybe from a young age you just knew that I'm going to have to get an actual corporate job or something like that to sustain myself, so you never actually dared to dream. But it was something that you would cater to and on your free time, and something that you did a lot as a kid, and something that you were passionate about and that you loved doing, and that you just had the most joy when you were doing it. Everyone has that motherfucking thing. You might think, because a lot of people be like, oh, yeah, I used to enjoy writing when I was a kid. I used to write poetry, but I haven't done that in years, and I don't even know if I even actually am into that anymore. Well, there's a possibility that you still are. It's just you shut that part of yourself off for so long that it's not active. Maybe if you actually got back into it, you would actually start to remember why you loved it in the first place. Doesn't hurt to try. Follow your dreams because you owe it to your inner child. A lot of us, especially if you've been on your journey, a lot of us has reached a point in our spirituality where it's okay, I'm ready to just be myself. I'm gonna just be authentically me. I know for me in my journey, I had to stop prescribing to titles. I had to stop saying I'm a Pegasus moon because I have Pegasus on my moon, or I'm a Uranus alien because I don't know if you know about alien constructs in astrology, but yeah, I'm a Uranus alien. And I would just have all these, I would kind of develop it as my personality and have all these titles. And that's kind of it could be a good thing because it's helping you advance more in your journey and own more of who you are on a soul level. But you reach a point, and I feel like we've all finally reached that point in our spirituality where it's I'm a vast of things. I have multiple titles, and I'm nothing and everything at the same time. I'm what I choose to be. You just reach a certain level of awareness and a certain vibrational state. God peace, bitch. And it's you know what? I'm most at peace when I'm not in anything. When I don't prescribe to a title and try to uphold it. When I'm not trying to uphold anything. AKA when I'm just being myself. because you don't have to try to be yourself. You don't have to uphold being yourself. You're literally just being. And that's when I'm most at peace. And a lot of us have came to that realization and kind of just had that moment with ourselves, and we've been on our journey and been doing that shadow work where it's like, enough with these titles, enough with, trying to prove myself or trying to be the smartest person in the world. I'm gonna just be myself and just stand for what I believe in, which is the truth, and just give myself the space and freedom to speak my mind. I'm not gonna try to convince anybody of anything. Like, we're way past that. That was back in 2020, trying to wake people up. Now at this point, it's like, you're either with me or you're doing you and I'm doing me. You're either with me or out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that, especially with North Node and Aries, it's kind of just like moving away from the compromising who you are, and moving into, look, this is who I am. You either vibrate on that same frequency or you out the way. Like, that's what everyone's stepping into with that North Node and Aries. And I'm saying all this to say that, like, we're finally at a place in our spirituality where authenticity is the key to getting to the other side. It's like we finally kind of reached the end of the road, but it's never the end. It's just the end of a hallway, and there's a door waiting for it to be opened so you can see a whole new landscape to explore and conquer and master, a whole nother storyline, a whole nother destination to get to. So it's like we're at that door now, and some of us have the key, some of us don't have the key. And that key, for a lot of us, for the collective, honestly, because it's even in the astrology, is your vulnerability. It's, do you know who you are? And do you value who you are? And do you value it enough for it to be seen by others? AKA letting your vulnerability become your ego. AKA being yourself, your truest, authentic self, and not putting up a front anymore. Do you value yourself enough to put down the facades? Have you grown enough throughout your journey? Have you done enough shadow work and enough deconditioning throughout your journey that you can actually step out now, like, hey, this is me? And so, since a lot of us are here now, I want to make it very, apparent, not apparent, but very, what's the word? Like, I just want to make a point. Like, I want to bring to your awareness that now that you are your authentic self, and that you're you, and that, now that you've stepped into your authenticity and allowing your vulnerability to be seen by others, I want to bring to your awareness that to further develop that, or to further integrate into who you are, would be to do things that you did as a child again, and to connect back with those things. I used to have a nose piercing. You can literally see the hole. See the hole? Yeah. It's still there. And I still have nose piercings that I could put in right now. But I took it out because the reason of why I put it in was to be popular, to be cool, because I remember, like, in middle school, it was like really like trending to like have a nose piercing, and like you're like considered like that bitch if you had a nose piercing in middle school. So I literally got it just for that fucking reason. So I took it out because it's not authentic to who I am. Having a nose piercing in my nose is not physically representing my spirit, my soul, my inner child, because my inner child never dreamt about piercings, and my inner child, that's not even the style of my inner child. You know what I'm saying? So to walk around with a nose piercing, I would just be what's the word? Representing or showcasing a past vibrational state that I was in back in 7th grade, wanting to be popular, wanting to fit in. So I took it out. Like, this is where we're at. This is taking, the steps. Like, after you got the key, like, okay, I know who I am now, and I'm ready to showcase it. I'm ready to let my vulnerability be my ego. And you open the door, and now, like, these are when you start taking steps forward, these are the steps that you're, like, now taking forward. Like, okay, what did I do as a child? Okay, I used to draw. Okay, let me start drawing. One step forward. Okay, what did I draw? Like, what was the kind of things that I was into? Okay, and you also have to do art of deduction, like I just did, like, with the nose piercing. Like, would I have a nose piercing right now had I stayed true to myself all throughout my life since a childhood? Would I have a nose piercing right now? No, I wouldn't have a nose piercing right now, because the reason why I got it was just to fit in. So let me take that out. Okay, another step forward. And then the more steps you take, the more you're getting more immersed into this new landscape, into this new world, into the other side, which is really exciting. Because if you've been on your journey, this is years. There's been years in the making. It definitely has a finally feeling to it, like about fucking time feeling to it, like finally, fuck. But obviously, like, once you reach one destination, you don't stop there. You keep going, and so this is the keep going. These are the steps forward. Yeah, it's really exciting, and so that's your embracing your inner child, embracing your authenticity. Go and follow those dreams of yours. Go and follow those aspirations of yours that you had as a child. You owe it to yourself, because you and your inner child are now one. You and your inner child have integrated, and you guys are just one being now. And so go and follow those motherfucking dreams. Okay, what I was gonna say was, it doesn't stop there. Like, once you reach one milestone, you get another. But don't you dare just come up with a goal and just disregard the goals that you had as a child. Go and achieve those goals. And once you achieve those, now you can start creating new goals for yourself, trying new things. And that's gonna be fun too. Like, the journey is fun. The journey is fun. The possibilities are endless. And it's just so fun to think about. It really is. A lot of people are, tapped into their vulnerability, they're tapped into their authenticity, and they're ready to show it out, but still don't exactly know, like, how that looks like or how to do that. And I just told you, go back and think, like, who was I as a child? Talk to yourself. Gods talk to themselves. Talk to yourself. Have a whole therapy session. I remember in 7th grade, I had a crush on that one boy. Man, and he da-da-da-da. And then I actually ended up getting that tattoo just so he could da-da-da-da. Okay, boom, you just discovered something. You got a tattoo just because you like the boy, you wanted a boy. But that's not who you are anymore. That's an old vibrational state. So that tattoo doesn't even represent your current vibrational state. Okay, so this is just an example. You don't have to go to this extreme, but I would. Because I'm devoted to this journey, bitch. But you don't have to go to this extreme. But it's like, okay, boom, like, damn, like, I only got this flower on my wrist, like, not because I have, like, a deep, spiritual connection with flowers, or, like, no, just because I like the boy, and, like, I wanted him to like me so much because I barely liked myself that I literally got a tattoo. But that represents an old state of being I was, and I love myself now. I respect myself now. I would never do something like that today. So having this on my wrist is not a current representation of who I am right now, of my inner child, of my authenticity. So I'm going to get this tattoo removed, or I'm going to get another tattoo and cover over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just taking steps like that to really immerse yourself fuller into your authenticity, into your truth, into this new person, which is really just who you've always been. out the fat kids and just the fat kids and just being you. Lovely, lovely, wonderful you. So that concludes this video. I don't really have anything else to say. Just wanted to get a little bit on your ass and be like, hey, now that we, love who we are and we know who we are, don't you dare just move forward and be like, okay, like, how am I going to, like, with new plans? Because we just had a new moon in Virgo. So, like, don't you dare have, like, new plans, new hustles, that don't got shit to do with your authentic self, with the depth of your core, with who you are, with your inner child. Don't do that. Don't do that. Go back in time and be like, I did want to be a famous author back when I was 13. Yeah, I even got all of the I even got all the stuff too. And I remember telling my mom I was gonna be, let me go and connect back to that passion of writing and see if it's still there. And kind of just, because I owe it to myself, because that's like unfinished business with myself. Let's talk about it. Like, that's like unfinished business with myself. That's like a broken promise that I made to myself due to not believing in myself, due to getting caught up with survival, due to falling for the Masons' tricks. So I gotta go, and I gotta make things right with me. I gotta go and give myself that justice. And I gotta go and rightfully do what I truly wanted and claimed and always wanted to do and claim that I was going to do with my life. I have to go back and fix those little broken promises. I got a duty and obligation to myself now. And I'm gonna achieve it. Because I owe that to myself. I owe that to my inner child, to my heart. Because I broke my own heart by believing I couldn't do it, by believing that there was no chance. I told myself I couldn't have it. That's like telling a little girl or a little boy that badly wants to be a famous actor, you can't have that. And just letting him cry and be like, well, it's just life. Now you gotta go back and pick up the pieces and be like, I was wrong. You can't have that. And I owe it to you to devote my life to making sure that you get it. When you really have that deep bond and understanding and love and respect for yourself, you're gonna go back and you're going to make shit right with you. I owe that to the little me inside. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.